What's up guys? Today I'm going to be sharing some unpopular products from really popular makeup brands. So these are brands that everybody knows about and they have some really beloved things that are always getting hyped on YouTube and talked about in the beauty community. But these are products from these really popular brands that I feel like are hidden gems that not a lot of people really talk about. So I want to bring them to your attention because I think they're fabulous products that definitely deserve more love. So let's go ahead and just jump right in because I have quite a few things to talk about today, and we'll start out with Tarte. So Tarte, I feel like, is very well known for their eyeshadow palettes, Shape Tape, of course. Their Amazonian clay blushes are really popular, the Juicy Lips. I mean, they have a ton of really popular products that everybody loves, but I do have some that I don't hear a lot of people talking about. The first one is from the Maneater line. This is their Blush and Glow Cheek Plump. So this is actually a liquid blush that comes in a tube. It has like a really big doe foot applicator, very similar to Shape Tape. And all of the shades that they come in, this one's the shade pink, by the way, all the colors that they come in have a little bit of sheen to them. They're not super glowy or glittery, but they just add a little bit of dimension to your skin. They're not like a flat matte. But I love this formula and I'm actually wearing it today. So I'll put a little bit more on just to show you. I love the formula because it's very sheer initially. So if you're somebody who doesn't like to wear a lot of blush, you can just go really light with it. But also it dries down completely, so you can continue to just add more layers if you want a little bit more oomph and a little bit more impact. But the glow that it gives is really subtle and pretty. So again, you're not gonna look sparkly. It's not gonna enhance your texture. I honestly wish it came in more colors. I think it only comes in maybe like 4 shades that I saw at Ulta. I just have this one, but I'm definitely planning on getting some more because I really love this formula and I love how it looks on my 45-year-old skin. So this is just a really nice way to add a little bit of glow without going over the top. And also this is really long lasting. It kind of almost like stains your cheeks, so it lasts on me the entire day. I do have dry skin, and also you can apply it with your fingers, which is what I do just because it's really quick and easy, or you can also apply it with a brush or a sponge, whatever you like. It works well with all of those methods. Another thing I really love from Tarte, and I've mentioned this so many times on my channel, you're probably going to get tired of hearing it, but these little Sugar Rush lip balms are amazing. They're my absolute #1 favorite lip balm. I have purchased this a few times now. It comes in a red shade as well that's kind of like a sheer berry red on your lips. It's really pretty. It kind of gives that effect like you just ate a popsicle. This one is the clear one. It looks a little bit pink in the jar, but it doesn't really go on any sort of color. It has an amazing cupcake scent and it is just the most buttery lip balm on the planet. I put this on at night. I always wear it underneath all of my lip products or sometimes on top of my lip products. It's not super glossy, but it just adds like a little bit of a glow to your lips. And I'll show you guys quickly a before and after picture. This is before. You can see my lips look really dry and really lined. And then in the after, this is immediately after. So you don't have to wait a long time to see results with this. You put it on and your lips look instantly smoother and more plumped out. And it really does make a huge difference, even more so than those products that claim to plump your lips. And I don't really like those anyway because they always sting and burn. So that's an amazing lip balm if you're looking for one heading into the fall and winter. And then the third thing I don't hear a lot of people talking about from Tarte is the Sweet Tarte Glow Blush. This one is in the Frosted shade. This is a really gorgeous baked blush, and you guys know me, I love a baked formula because they are so smooth and so flattering, and they just glide across your skin and they don't look powdery or cakey. And just like the Maneater Cheek Plump, this one has a little bit of glow, but again, it's nothing too crazy. Sometimes like the Milani baked blushes can be glittery, and this one is not. It's very subtle. It just has that very slight pearlized finish. And this frosted color is beautiful. They also have one that I think is a little bit more of like a nude or like a bronzy shade that's super pretty as well. I don't have that one, but I keep thinking about going back to Ulta and grabbing it because I really like this one a lot. And this is also super long lasting for a powder blush. I think Tarte always does blushes really well. And even though this isn't their Amazonian clay formula, I find that it just holds up beautifully on my cheeks all day. And then next up, when it comes to Milani, I feel like Milani is one of the most popular brands at the drugstore. They have so many amazing products, but there are a couple that I feel like don't get enough hype. The first one is this peach hand cream. And I know I've talked about this on my channel before too, and this is getting really hard to find because it's no longer on their website, which makes me so sad. I feel like they're discontinuing it, but you can still get it at Walgreens if you're in the US, so I will link it down below. And when I first saw this, I was skeptical because I don't really like anything peach scented, but this doesn't smell like that artificial fake kind of peach smell. It smells like a peach pie. It has a baked element to it and like a sugary vanilla behind it. It's just incredible, the scent, first of all. Second of all, the product itself is really thick coming out of the tube. It's amazing on my dry hands. So I've been wearing this to bed at night. This is actually my second tube of it, and I'm gonna buy a couple more before it completely disappears because I really just love this formula so much. It has shea butter in it. It has sunflower oil, peach extract, and it's not greasy either, which is another thing I love about it. It's rich and thick, but yet it soaks in right away, and my hands love this stuff. So I highly recommend checking this out before it's gone if you haven't already. And then another product from Milani that I've really been enjoying is this highly rated diamond lip gloss, and this only comes in clear. I wish they would make shades out of it because I would buy it in every single color. Very similar to the Maybelline lifter glosses. This has a giant doe foot applicator, and it is the glossiest lip gloss. It gives your lips tons of shine, and that in turn kind of makes them look fuller and plumper. It also has a really nourishing, really hydrating feel to it. So again, it's going to kind of smooth out the lip lines, plump everything up, and just make it look amazing. I'm just gonna put a little bit on so you can see. So yeah, as you can see, very glossy. I know a few of you guys were asking me a while ago what was a good, just clear lip gloss to put on top of lip products. This one is one of my favorites. It's also not sticky at all. It kind of feels like a melted down lip balm, and it does have a little bit of like a strange smell. It's kind of a little bit fruity, but also a little bit sugary. It's totally pleasant. I don't mind it. At least it's not something floral or headache inducing. It's actually very light, and I really don't notice it that much. But anyway, if you're looking for a really good lip gloss that is going to make your lips super shiny and smooth everything out, then check this one out because the formula is so good. And then another product from Milani that I really don't hear a lot of people talking about is their baked highlighters. And if you are a highlighter fan, especially highlighters that are really going to show up on your skin and be really glowy, these are beautiful, but yet they're that baked formula that's a little bit more flattering than just a regular pressed powder. The sheen that's in them is just so refined that it never comes off looking like glitter or sparkle. It's just this beautiful pearly look that really catches the light. And again, if you have more textured skin, this is one of the highlighters that I feel like really doesn't enhance texture that much. I think any highlighter will slightly, just because you're adding a glow and kind of drawing attention to that section of your face. But I think for a highlighter, this is one of the really few that I feel like doesn't enhance texture that much at all. So I happen to have two shades. I have Dolce Perla and Champagne d'Oro. These are the two lighter options, but they also have deeper colors as well. So I would definitely check these out. These are a very slept on product. Next up, when it comes to ColourPop, I think ColourPop is really, really well known mostly for their eyeshadow palettes, and then of course their Super Shock shadows and Super Shock blushes, and also their lip products. But there are several products that I've been trying from ColourPop lately that I kind of can't believe nobody really talks about because they're so good. And some of these I didn't even realize they made it until I think it was they were having a 30% off sale over the summer, and I was just looking through their whole website like, what haven't I tried from them yet? And I discovered quite a few things that really surprised me. So first up, let's talk about Soul Body, because this is one of the brands that's under the umbrella of ColourPop. They have Soul Body and they have the Fourth Ray skincare. Soul Body I feel like really doesn't get a lot of attention, and these are two products that I've tried over the summer and completely fell in love with them. The first one is their face and body makeup, and then the other is the face and body bronzer. So these are two similar products that are a little bit different, and I'll kind of explain the difference between the two. So the face and body makeup, you can use either on your face or body. I've done both, and I feel like it has a really nice solid medium coverage. You can build up the coverage if you want a little bit more, but it has soft focus pigments in it that kind of draw your eye away from any imperfections in your skin. And in particular, I loved wearing this product on my legs in the summertime because I'm a little bit self-conscious when I go out with shorts or a dress on because I'm really pale, so you can see any kind of splotchiness or like little spider veins peeking through. Everything kind of just shows shows up a lot more if you are fair. It's not as noticeable if I do happen to get a tan, but I try not to do that and damage my skin. So this really helped to even out the skin tone on my legs and just hide all of that. It was sort of like liquid pantyhose going on. But unlike that spray from Sally Hansen at the drugstore, this doesn't look glittery. That one always annoyed me because of the glitter, and I would go out into the sun and just look like a disco ball. And I love that this one, it does have like the light reflecting pigments, but it's not glittery. It just kind of adds like a little bit of a satiny finish, so it's not flat. So I have mine in the shade Light 6. Unfortunately, the color range isn't the best. It's very yellow toned overall, so if you have more of a pink undertone like I do, I mean, you can make it work, especially if you put it all over, but just keep in mind that pretty much all the shades, at least from what I could see on the website, looked a bit more on the yellow side. But then when it comes to the face and body bronzer, this is basically the same exact thing, except this comes in deeper colors. So if you want to just match your skin tone or close to your skin tone, then I would use this one if you're not looking to bronze your body up. But if you are, this is also an amazing product, especially if you are a self-tanner phobe like I am. So I use this one a lot in the summertime as well. If I just wanted to look a little bit more bronzed and more tan, I have it in the shade Fair. And this one actually is a really nice color. It's not overly yellow. It's a little bit more cool and pink toned, and I feel like it works really well on my skin. And once it sets down, it doesn't remain sticky. It's not going to rub off on anything. I never had any issues with that. I mean, I wouldn't jump into a pool with it on, but if you're just going to be out walking around and you want to look like a bronze goddess, I think this is an amazing product. And the best part is you can just wash it off at the end of the night, unlike self-tanner. Or if you make a mistake and something looks a little splotchy, you can fix it really easily and you don't have to worry about it. So these two products were definitely a big surprise. I really enjoyed these a lot. The next product is one that I probably wouldn't have looked twice at if I were just shopping on the website, but they sent it to me in PR. I ended up trying it, and I wore this so many times over the summer, and I'm sure you guys know what I'm about to say, and it's this Oh Shell Yeah quad. So this is actually supposed to be 4 of their Super Shock highlighters, but 2 of them are definitely able to be used as a blush. So you have a golden highlight, you have kind of this opal-y purple shade down here, you have a shimmery peach, and then a beautiful, gorgeous pink. Now, because these are highlighters, they all have a little bit of glow, but again, nothing is sparkly, and I love their Super Shock highlighters in general because they're a cream, so they're great for those of us with dry skin, again, or more mature skin, but they do dry down to a powder finish, and they don't stay sticky. So if you have oily skin, I'm sure they'd work just as well for you. But I pulled out this quad so much. I took it on trips with me because I felt like I had 2 different blushes, and then I also had my highlighters in this one little compact. And even this purple highlighter, it looks kind of scary, but let me just show you, like, it honestly looks so pretty, especially if you put it over a blush, kind of as like a blush topper, because the purple kind of mixes with the pink and it just gives like a really cool toned effect to your cheeks, and it really doesn't look purple like you would think it does. So it just gives a nice glow, and it's a little something unexpected. Let me just put some on the other cheek real quick. But yeah, I also duped this in a dupe video, or I didn't dupe this, I duped 4 other products in my collection with this. And let me show you that really quickly because that completely blew my mind. So I compared this to my Hourglass Vanish highlighting stick, also the Charlotte Tilbury Pinkgasm wand, one of the Huda Beauty stick blushes, and then the Jason Wu Opal highlighter. And when I swatched them all out side by side, I was really blown away by how close all of these were and how this one little quad could substitute for 4 other products in my collection. I know, like, when it comes to the Pinkgasm shade, it's not exactly the same, but once it's blended out on your skin, it does give a really similar effect. So this is another really unexpected one from ColourPop. Another product I feel like people don't talk about very often is their powder blushes. They have an amazing powder blush formula, and I used to have so many shades of it, but unfortunately they've discontinued most of them. They have some that are like in little heart shapes. I haven't tried those yet. I have some just from various collections. These are actually still available on their website, so I will link them down below, but I just think they have such a good formula. It's really blendable. It's not too pigmented where you have to be careful like how much you pick up on your brush, but it's also not super sheer either. So I'll show you guys the shades that I have. I have Coast to Coast, which is the most beautiful mauve, like a dusty mauve. I also have Cat's Eye from the Sailor Moon collection. This one has a little bit of shimmer to it. And then I also have one called From the Moon, which is also from the Sailor Moon collection. And this one is a bright bubblegum pink, which is also amazing if you like more of a cool tone blush. So yeah, I know a lot of people like ColourPop's Super Shock blushes and the blush sticks, but I think their powder blushes definitely don't get enough hype. They're really great. And then the last ColourPop product I wanted to mention is these little quads. Everybody always talks about their larger palettes. They come out with one almost weekly, but these little quads really don't get mentioned a lot, and I have collected so many over the past year or so. I think the formula almost is even better than their larger palettes. I don't know if it's different or if that's just all in my head, but when I've talked about these in videos, a few of you guys have also mentioned that you feel like it's sort of a different formula. These just have a very velvety feel when it comes to the matte shades, and most of the shimmer shades that I've come across in these are also just really nicely pigmented. They're the more like rich buttery kind of a shimmer shade that's not like a topper. So I've really been enjoying these, and I think they're great, especially if you look at a big palette and you're like, I don't know where to start, I don't know what to do. This is just easy. You generally have a crease color, a deeper shade, and then you have two shimmers to play with, and you can create a couple different looks with it, but it all coordinates and it all goes together, so you don't really have to think too hard. I'm wearing the creamsicle one on my eyes today, and it just gives like a really monochromatic look. They're not all like that. Some of them have a little bit more variety in the color, or they have some neutrals. So let me just show you guys all the different ones that I have really quick. Anyway, those are all of the ColourPop quads that I have, but like I said, these are just so fun and nobody ever talks about them. I don't know why. And then last but not least, I feel like e.l.f. has so many really hyped products, from their bite-sized palettes, both the cheek and eye ones, to their primers. A lot of people talk about their larger eyeshadow palettes. Their complexion products also get a lot of attention, but I have a few things here that I don't really hear hyped up very often. And the first one is one that I discovered recently, but I think this is such an old product. It's the Poreless Face Primer. I like this better than all of the primers that they have, even the really popular ones like the Power Grip Primer and the Putty Primer. Those are okay, but this one for my type of skin is incredible. It is so smoothing. It has kind of like this fluffy whip texture, and it just smooths across all your pores and fine lines. It doesn't dry out my skin. Makeup just sits so beautifully on top of it. It's a gorgeous product, and it's been around a really long time. The only thing I wasn't crazy about with this was the smell, but then when I mentioned it in a previous video, I said it was kind of a chemical smell, and a lot of you mentioned it's actually tea tree that's in the formula. And then once I knew what it was, I was like, oh yeah, it does kind of smell like tea tree, and then I felt better about it. So if you've been looking for something to just kind of give your skin that airbrushed look, this is an amazing, affordable primer to try. Highly recommend checking this out. Another product from e.l.f. I think doesn't get a lot of attention are their primer infused blushes. I think the putty blushes and their little bite-sized blush duos have really taken center stage, but this is an older product that is really just a hidden gem. These remind me so much of the Bare Minerals Gen Nude blushes. They have that really similar velvety feel. They're so soft and blendable. They have just the right amount of pigmentation, and they're long lasting on your skin as well, which is surprising because a lot of drugstore blushes tend to fade on me, and these are one of the formulas that really holds up well. I have two shades, but I keep intending on picking up some more because I just really love these so much. I think they are extremely underrated, and I don't know why a lot of people don't talk about these. Another product from e.l.f. that I think got a lot of hype when they first launched, and then I haven't really heard people talking about them again, are their Ride or Die Lip Balms. I'm wearing the shade Tough Cookie today. This is my favorite, but they have so many beautiful colors that they come in, and they remind me so much of how the Bite Beauty Agave lip mask used to be before they reformulated. I don't think these have lanolin in the formula, and those did, but they just have that thick, rich feel. They're really super hard to squeeze out of the tube. I would say that's my main complaint with it, but once it comes out, these are magical. They just are the most nourishing lip balm aside from this one. I mean, they're pretty close actually, but these come in a lot of colors, which is why I use these sometimes over this one. If I want to add a little color to my lips, I would say these are like in the number 2 spot when it comes to lip balms for me. And I'm somebody that has such dry lips. I've tried just about every lip balm imaginable, both drugstore and high-end. Most of the time, the drugstore ones disappoint me, but this formula truly feels high-end. Like I said, it moisturized my lips just as well as the Bite Beauty Agave Lip Mask, the old version, not the newer one. So all of you guys with dry lips out there who are looking for a really amazing lip balm at an affordable price, you cannot beat this one. It is so good. All right, guys, so those are some more unpopular products from really popular makeup brands. If you'd like to see a part 2 to this video with some more brands, definitely let me know. And I'd also love to hear your favorite hidden gems and unpopular products from really popular brands. Thank you guys so much for watching. I appreciate it so much. And if you're new here and you enjoyed this video, I hope you'll consider hitting the subscribe button before you go. And if you have some extra time and would like to keep watching my channel, I'll go ahead and suggest some videos on the next screen for you to check out. Thank you guys so much, and I will see you all in my next video. Take care, guys. Bye.